Welcome to season 3, episode 6 of Surviving Nairobi. Kama kawaida, it's your boy Hafare, aka the Enemaloma, aka the albino penguin, aka Mbwa Koko, aka Mr. Roaming Fallas, aka the elegant Sasquatch, aka an ill-soused Apple John, aka Wyvern Kimchi, and finally for this season, it's still your divorced uncle. We're making some headway with your aunt, but inaenda even a vile. We'll see how it will go. I'm more out than in right now.
Excuse you.
As usual, you're gonna Ivy.
Hey. Me, I'm Ivy, aka shocked, aka surprised, aka perplexed, and flabbergasted at Mr. Walking Fallas.
The roaming fallas, please.
The roaming roaming. You don't even know where you're going.
No,
Did you go divorced?
You go streets. As Future said, I am the streets.
It belongs to...
I am the streets. These streets that people belong to, they belong to me. Me specifically, sawa.
God.
So yeah, the roaming fallas is out here. Na kwanza sasa hivi nyakafi umeongezwa, I am roaming in full effect.
Wewe na Safaricom napeleka na hivi story ya roaming.
Mimi na roam kwa nje Safaricom hawezi. Mimi na roam in Canada, I don't charge.
But then speaking of roaming, unajua vile roaming ni expensive, wacha tu ebu kwanza. We have a very...
But I don't just introduce. Umeskip an entire...
Mimi sinanga intro, like, kishaji introduce
so
hivyo.
imagine if somebody was listening to this podcast for the first time. Ungedhani wewe ni nameless female voice.
Oh, by the way, my name is Ivy. DJ Ivy.
Yes.
The legendary DJ Ivy.
Boom.
Jichoche.
The queen of vibes.
Boom.
Okay. The all-rounded DJ. You listen to me when you think of something, when you think of peace, when you think of tranquility, when you're just thinking nataka vibes. Ni mimi unafikiria.
Exactly.
Okay? And I am half of Surviving Nairobi. And yeah, I'm happy to be here, but like siwezi, let me just put it out there, like if you're listening to this podcast for the first time, or like if you're binging this podcast for the first time, maybe umeanza na hii episode and you think that I will ever match up to Hafare's AKAs, you're dead wrong. Better press pause right now before you go.
Reevaluate your situation.
Reevaluate the situation. Read the room kindly. Me, I'll never match up, so
yeah. So yeah. Umesahau kusema when whoever's listening, when their favorite DJ wakes up, they pray to a post of Ivy. They channel their talents from you. Ivy ajai play tetema. I just like to point that out. That speaks to our quality. Ajai kuwa na low hanging fruit. Sawa. Si mtu resort to the basics kwa chocha.
Thank you.
Hata kuchocha na vitu ujui hata ulikuwa unapenda.
By the way, yeah.
Yes.
But then that's facts. That's like #facts. Yeah. Hi. All that though, I'm really, really honored to be the one to introduce this guest in this episode. Huyu ni mse kwanza personally, mimi nasema like the stars have aligned. The all throughout the conversation we've had, right? There's a constant word which is alignment, and I believe it. I shot my shot. Nakumbuka nikisema shoot your shot, I shot my shot to this person.
Kama Rambo in Vietnam.
In Vietnam. Van Damme has nothing on me, honestly. In fact, Arnold ali copy notes zangu.
Except the splits.
So I am really, really honored to introduce this guest into this episode, into our podcast. Hopefully they're going to be a regular in the podcast. I hope so. Because I feel like, you know, when creatives meet together and they have the same vision, inakwanga heaven. We have our own heaven. And I feel like I touched heaven when I started talking to this person. And this is none other than Joere, aka Dabliu. Please
introduce yourself.
I have no more AKAs. I don't.
Nobody has. Actually, I think the only person ambaye kuja na AKAs, and even though alijaribu kidogo. No. Mimi nika James Bond. You can never start. So relax. 009.5. Let's continue. So yeah, the only person amekuja na AKAs zake ni Alice Kanji. Shout out to Alice Kanji, Bandova branch. Go listen to her podcast. Now, I was really happy that kuna mtu mwingine ali follow the lead.
Right.
But I don't expect anybody kuja na AKA zake. So yeah.
Hizo zako hatuwezi match.
Mwanze hatuwezi.
Mimi ni the Minister of Tourism of Mongolia.
Hiyo ni AKA ingine.
Imagine.
Another one.
I have 1,000. So Joe, endelea please.
Take the stage.
Yeah. So vile mmesikiani. My friends call me Jay or Joey sina aka mob ka
Yeah.
kanini but mostly known as JW or Joe Were government.
Yeah. So, who is JW? That's the most important thing, because somebody might be listening. JW. Who is JW?
I think I'm a polymath first of all.
One of my AKAs in the last one was Papi Polymath.
Hey, hapo sawa.
Niko naelewa kenye anasema. I know what a polymath is. Msidhani sikuenda shule.
But they have had na masters. I feel like people should respect you. Sometimes
no, sina masters yet. Na chase. But itakam.
Anasomea.
I am preparing for it. I'm not manifesting.
Kuna watu msikiza wanafikiria he's a chokora the way he portrays himself, right? But so yeah.
Msomi.
Tunajaribu. We are trying our best. Ndasema nyingine. Joe, when you polymath?
I used to do photography and filmography. Now I'm into music production. I rap, I sing, I play keys, I play trumpet.
Goals.
Godwin. Look at this nigga flexing. Look at this nigga flexing. Me, I'm only good at talking shit on the internet. I rap, I sing, I play the keys, I play the trumpet, filmography. Mimi sina talanta hata moja. I am just here. Child of a lesser God. Unatuhurumia lini Mungu?
Unatukuta lini?
Exactly.
But you do play the trumpet. So una blow your own trumpet kila time kwa hii podcast.
Right.
So
That's an instrumentalist.
Boom.
Taniua.
You know what that is? That's camera gani ni 1 or 2? That's bars. Okay? That's bars.
You don't know nothing about that.
Nothing about that. That's bars, nigga.
Yeah. So honestly, tumekuwa tukiinterrupt for so long, but we're having so much fun doing this.
Yeah.
So Jay, when you do all those things,
Yes, sir.
You recently. Oh, but please, just allow me one thing before Nicole say swali. Shout out to my mbogi, mamblina pale. Camera tu ipan, ndo hao. These are my boys, staunch supporters. Gang ndo hiyo. Boni Amimo, the big dude from season 1, episode 5, and some niggas that have never been on the show. But napenda wote, like legit. These are my like day ones kabisa, and I'm glad that they're here like sitting.
Yeah.
So Jay, you put out your EP Juicy.
Yes, sir.
Square One. I just want you to tell us, like, because me, when I saw the announcement, JW has an EP, I'm like, what? JW is a photographer. That was legit my first reaction, because I always knew you as this really, really dope guy with visuals. I always knew that was like, hey, who know Atari. Then I listened to the EP, and as if you know me, you know me, I'm very deep into music. Even like if you've listened to our sister podcast, I did a whole music limited series where I was talking about my favorite songs from each decade, and I think it's really dope. You should check it out if you haven't. And me, I really like to to dissect and to judge it, and I listened to the EP and I was blown away. I was like, what the hell?
I know.
How is this dude, this dope photographer,
and
at the same time this really dope artist
and producer,
and I'm like, producer. Yani, mimi ndo sijui vitu.
So you produced the whole project?
Sikukula sera laki nikiwa mdoi ama.
Ungekuwa nje ukauke enough in the sun, maybe ungefika that level.
Mimi nilikuwa mbichi labda, because how can somebody be so good at all this stuff? So for me, I just want to take us like the creative process yako behind Square One. Like how it all came about, mpaka from conceptualization to fruition. Just take us through it.
So, Square One, as the name suggests, was like, this is my first step, like personal first step. I've been playing music for 13 years actually. So people know me, like there are crowds that know me for music, the crowds that know me for like visual arts. So sometimes when those crowds meet, they're like, wait, are you
the same
person? I'm like, yeah. But the thing is, like, I have through the years, like, I've felt like I want to do something without being what can I call it, like
boxed
in. Yeah. I see you. Yeah. In fact, even with the album, like, there's a French review that was saying you can't really box in the project because it's not a hip hop project, it's not a R&B project,
Right.
not an Afro project.
You
It's a
exist
bit
in
of
your
everything.
space. Yeah, you exist in your space.
Yeah. And that literally comes from like my experiences like touring with Blinky Bill.
Angalia. Look, touring with Blinky Bill. Nikaa nikwenda kununua mkate. Ai.
Niko hapa nimekunywa tu maji natulia tu.
Yeah. Yeah. Like in my years of playing, I've had the privilege of like playing with some, interesting people from like different genres. I played with Aloe Black. Yeah.
Whether please like shoot your own horn. No, for real, like legit, I really want to hear this. I legit want to hear this. Cause
Yeah. Atemi, Giuliani. I was actually Giuliani's first band back in 2009. Played with Omar Lifehook, who is like considered the father of Neo Soul. He's from the UK. So I have all these different influences and experiences that I didn't feel like I want to be boxed into any one of them because I am all of them.
Right.
And yeah, so the project actually started last year, but then it's changed and morphed over time. Like even the songs that are on the project now were not the original songs.
so there's like some cutting room floor.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, something like Wacha Ni Chill Kiasi, I did in a day. It was
Like that's the thing.
It was those ones for I had just fallen out with a friend, and I was blocked on Instagram. Unblock bana,
Mimi nimeblokiwa na watu wengi. Ni hali ya maisha.
But that's really good that you
Nakwambia.
mentioned because like it's a friend. It's not that an intimate partner.
Yeah.
And these things happen in friendships,
Yeah.
manze.
Mimi nimekosana na
in
best
fact, the
yangu.
friendship ones are worse.
Nakwambia
Yeah,
mimi
they're
nimekosana na
worse.
best yangu.
Yeah.
A former friend ako Australia and I pray that a drop bear falls on her face and eats it off. Like tulikosana to that point where like I think tumefika ile point where there is no coming back from this. But I understand completely. Unakulanga block yako na move.
Unakula block na move. Kwanza ilikuwa time ya pandemic, so kila mtu unajua emotions ziko high. Pressure nini, hakuna do. So uko hapo kwa studio. Well, I have a home like it's literally like a home. It's nothing much like. So nimechill hapo nikaanza kuplay, and then I was hearing the words wacha ni chill. Yeah, like I just want to
Relax.
Sima block za IG spendi. Like hizo vibes. Spend hizo vibes.
Ndio.
Uchill tu kwanza before you process everything. Yeah.
So hizo vibes are sijui, like people can talk but also people can separate and it's okay.
Yeah,
like
nuclear.
give people permission to be what they want.
Yeah.
So that song, the interesting thing is that's the most popular song on the EP.
Yeah, by
It
far.
is.
But it took the least
Amount of time.
effort
Yeah.
and time. It was literally like
And you know that there's so many songs that are like that where like as in car singles.
yeah.
The A side, the one that the studio believes in, like this is our lead single.
Yep.
It's like no, but the B side,
Yep.
Right.
that is the one that catch fire kwa streets and you're like,
Yep.
It's always those
Okay.
ones you never expected kwanza. Alafu because like today, like in this episode we are basically navigating like finding your niche, right? All of us in our capacities we are creatively inclined,
yeah, very much.
and everybody has had their own creative journey, but like before you found that thing where you were like, okay guy, this is it for me, and you found it not because it just only worked but also because you really were passionate about it, but it took time because these things, they always take time. You start with something, you think, hey, maybe you started like photography, you're like, this is it, until later on you gravitate towards music and you're like, I was wrong. In as much as I still love photography, nothing has changed, but there's this other necessity. Yeah. So like, what was that like turning point for you to realize, first of all, do you still identify as a visual artist, or do you just now want to
Be a polymath too, basically.
Yeah, be a
Just a
polymath.
polymath.
Yeah, you know.
So I mean, I can do photography and like visual arts, but I feel like I'm now just channeling all my energy into making music because that's what's inspiring me right now. And actually, how it started, I used to be a teacher, an IT teacher.
Like
What?
teaching who exactly?
Right, I know.
Yeah, like
Who?
So
who are
so
you
even
like,
how music started, like I was teaching, I taught at Braeburn. So like the place where my office was above the music room. So like at break time and lunchtime, I would go
to?
downstairs, read books, try stuff, listening to my Walkman. Yes, I just revealed my age.
Sawa, kila mtu zeeka.
Kila mtu zeeka.
Shout out, by the jana ilikuwa
Yeah.
we're recording this on the second
Today is the
Third,
second,
yeah.
second
October, yeah.
1st October, by the for those who don't know, is the International Day of the Older Persons.
And podcast day also.
No,
Podcast was
ilikuwa-
the day before.
The podcast was the day before on Wednesday, but International Day of the Older Persons ilikuwa jana 1st October. So if you
So gang Joe.
ambia
Gang.
shosho wako
Ukishasema Walkman tunajua wewe uko huko. Hall of Fame.
But ni Walkman juu, I mean, kulikuwa na madiscman back then, but juu nilikuwa na tape ya Jill Scott. And there were songs that I liked, like what's it called, Long Walk.
yeah.
That was my first song to learn how to play. So
Oh.
I literally like used to rewind, play, try the chords, ping, 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 ping. So I did that for a while, and within maybe a year, kids who used to now hang around and listen to me play, and then the teachers noticed, and then there was one teacher who used to teach violin, dance on Kiundi, but he also was a orchestra conductor.
Wow.
He told me, "Hey, I have this gig. Would you like to play?" I was like, "Okay." I mean,
Why not?
I not
Why
play
not?
like
Why not?
3
Yeah.
songs, but
Ni sawa.
Yeah. You can always adjust.
yeah. So he gave me music to read. I learned the music, and we played the gig. And then now after the gig, you see how like people come and say hi to the musicians or whatever.
Yeah.
People are coming to me like, because I just literally showed up. I had never been in a concert before. I was playing with guys who had played, but so I just literally that was like
Uliingia
my
tu,
That was your, yeah.
my coming out. That was my real square one. Yeah. So the next year I gave my notice of resignation
Wow.
and kajua nataka kudo music.
When you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
When you know, you know. When you're finding your voice, you realize that you're
Yeah, but
finding it.
I realize pia kitu kingine, you can't have fast things by the
Yeah.
You can't.
you can't be in and out.
Yep.
Mguu moja ndani, mguu moja nje. Lazima uko either completely in ama completely
You
out.
cannot. Like, and I relate to that a lot. Nakumbuka nikisema vile nimequit job.
Yeah, I remember.
At the time it was like, I think 2 weeks before the pandemic.
Yeah,
That's when I quit
I've
my
just called me,
job.
told me, yo, I mean, nimekuja job
Me
yangu.
nimekuja
fuck
job
this
yangu.
Oh, wow.
Fuck these niggas.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think the most legendary thing I've ever done in my whole life was to give a 2-sentence resignation email.
Really?
That's the letter.
I quit.
Yo, it's been real.
I'm
Adios. No. Like looking back, I wish I did that because walikuwa very progressive people, but I tried to keep it a bit official. But it was
Nimechoka, go ahead.
guaheri, nimeboeka, nimeishia. And the reason why I quit was because at the time, in my artistry nilikuwa naona ni kama there's so much hope, and I was ready to pursue that, and I was like, me pursuing that will cost me my office hours, and I'm like, am I willing to sacrifice that? Yes. So fuck my office job.
Yeah.
I'm going to pursue my artistry. But then the pandemic said psych. You know,
Which you thought.
Pandemic was like timing, timing.
Yeah.
But we thank God, like bado tuko hapa. So there has to be a reason for everything.
Yeah.
And it's really important. I feel like you go beyond the fear. Like you see it, you felt it, so you feel it sometimes, you can't even explain it. Unaambia mtu mimi najua tu. Na hata kuelewa na ni sawa. But like you go beyond that, you chase that, and it follows you. Sometimes it takes time. But like when it starts coming, that's you are meant to be on that path.
That's true.
One of the weirdest things for me, like when you watch Nani, what's her name? Susan Boyle. So you know her? Yeah, the British singer. When she went on Britain's Got Talent, she was like, I'm 57 years old. And like everybody was looking at her as somebody like ati anakuja tu kutuwestia time. Na she put like her voice ilishtua kila mtu.
Yep.
And that's for me, it's like if you're good at something and you give it the effort and time it deserves, you will get like itafika point that you're gonna succeed from it. Just because Lizzo spent 10 years behind the scenes and you get her big break. So imagine getting your big break in 2019 sindio, and starting music in 2009.
Siniulize mimi mbona na uko mbali. Unajua mimi nilianza ku DJ when
2013
actually 2012. And the person who taught me
shout out to Lex Montana
actually Ali Fresh mpaka hata alikuwa amesahau ni yale nilifunza kutumia virtual DJ. So like when we're linking up again now, like to do like the amapiano vibes on YouTube, nikamwambia bedha unakumbuka, cause me and Ali Fresh we grew up in the same estate, like we are childhood friends, yeah. And then now cause of high school, maybe you're in different high school, so ampatani sana. So when we cleared the next year, we met tumeka tu chini tu kwa mtaa, naambia, and I'm telling Ali, manzi mimi nataka kuwa DJ. Anaambia mimi pia. Oh my god. Kwanza hata I've started learning how to use virtual. Nikufunze. I'm like, yes please teach me. And we akanifunza, and from then like imekuwa tu. So when we were meeting again, and I reminded him hata alikuwa amesahau.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, this is amazing. So imagine 2012 and then tuko 2020. Ati now is when people you can say even someone can have an idea
of who Ivy is,
of who I am, you know.
But there was that incubation period.
There was a whole lot of quitting, self-doubt. There's a lot. So the journey has always been real, man.
You know, one of the things I realized, especially as a creative, the time when you're stagnant is the time when you get good.
True.
Yeah.
True.
One of the hardest things as somebody who creates, in first understanding that at first you will always suck. You will suck bad. You will never be good at the beginning.
That's true.
You will always be bad. And the more time you put in, like, somebody was here, was telling us how in 2012 they had met Marcus Brownlee in Germany at a tech show. And Marcus Brownlee was telling them that the first year he did YouTube, he only got 100 views per episode, per video. So he got good during the period when he had no growth.
Right.
Something that he finally realized that the time you put in, I'm just getting 2 subscribers, 2 listeners, 2 new views, 2 new people coming to my show, and you're still doing it. That's when you're honing your craft. So when the time you're getting 200 new listeners, 2,000 new subscribers, 20,000 new people coming to your show, you're already good at what you do.
Yeah, you know your shit already.
Like already we're uko sharp that
on our spoon feed too.
This new this new success, this new platform, it doesn't phase you because you've been doing this long enough to be like, where I'm good at this, as in your master level, but bado hujafika ile point yenye your recognition. So for me,
it's like 10,000 hours. That's 10,000 hours principle.
You need to do something for 10,000 hours.
Joe, I have a question. As a polymath, I believe like it's like being a polyamorous or something, where you can love more than one person, like, you know, generally.
Lazima ufikirie mambo.
Lazima.
Mbona uko thirsty aje? Lazima ufikirie. Akili imeenda mpaka huko. Yani
The right word we consider it.
So like, you know, you have a lot of things going on of which you give ample time to, but I'm sure there's always one thing and your heart is softer for, like, which is that. And like, did it take time for you to realize that, and or was it like just out from the get-go? You knew ni vile tu maybe circumstances. What was it for you?
Yeah, like for me, I'd say that's music. Both playing and creating music. When I was doing photography, I felt like my attention was too divided in terms of times I wanted to just practice or like create music. I had a 2-week gig somewhere in Marsabit or Ethiopia. Like, you know what I mean? So, because I did documentary photography, so my work was always traveling.
A man of the world.
A man of the...
Stamps in your passport.
Mtu ameshika globe hivi.
Wewe
acha.
Ni passport yangu na stamp moja. Na ni wapi na manga?
Kwa kina Diamond.
Hata sikufika mbali.
Hata ungesema.
The farthest nilifika ni Moshi. Na Moshi nika kwenda Eldoret. So technically hata sikuenda mahali.
Hata
Technically sikuenda mahali.
sasa alifika boda akarudishwa.
Na kwanza nile passport mzee, niko na passport mpya ina stamp yote. Pages ni clear kama noti mpya. Isiamini.
Yeah.
But then also I found a sweet spot where, like, when we would travel for music, I obviously had my camera, so silent could break. Niko huko natembea. I remember even once we had a France tour, so our gigs were in Paris, but I wanted to see Lyon, which is like a bus ride away, a 6-hour bus ride. Na ina cost nika kwenda tu cost nika $15.
Okay.
So nikaona, okay, how much time do we have between this gig and the next one? 2 days. Okay,
So you can go.
nikawa show, okay, mi nimeishia Lyon. Went, did photography, shot like architecture work, and people happened to like that architecture work and buy nini prints, you know, like, so
What?
so it became like the best of both worlds.
Right.
But then still niko na comp moja,
Tricky.
niko na Logic ya ku make music na niko na Photoshop. So one has to go, like it has to, it came to a point where now it became a decision
On what to do.
what do you prioritize. You know what I mean? As much as I was doing all these things and I loved doing them, I had to prioritize one so that the rest are just like in the background. Naweza zidu,
White
but
noise.
Yeah.
Like nitafanya my time
yeah,
like this.
naweza, but itakuwa,
nikiamka asubuhi ni feel like it ndaifanya,
Yeah.
if not
yeah, so music took priority.
yeah. But for me sasa the question is now, we know from the beginning you are a teacher, then ukaingia music. How did you end up in photography? Because that's now kuna gap, lazima unaambia ulifika wapi ukatekea diversion to end up being like this big documentary photographer.
Yeah. So actually it happened Vifani. The period there was a period I was playing for like 5 artists at the same time. So the whole week, like Monday niko na Juliani, Tuesday rehearsal niko na Atemi, Wednesday niko na Just a Band, Thursday niko na Kanji, you know.
Powerhouses.
Yeah. And then weekend niko na gig kwa hotel. Sunday maybe ka kuna blankets no niko hapo, and that was like every single day. That was like, saa zingine nalala 3 am naamka 7, tuko rehearsal 4 hours, kuna rehearsal lingine after. I had no time for myself, so nika get a bit depressed because I was giving but not
You receiving.
like I was giving everything, like sina hata time ya ku practice, yani vitu na like because you know when you're an artist you're always spending the energy, but you also have to have time to give yourself.
lazima recharge.
Yeah, lazima recharge.
Yeah.
Hata kani time off ama ni self practice, self love, whatever. So at that time nika decide I don't want to do music anymore. Picked up a camera. Inspired by Moav and Patricia Kioro. Patricia Kioro was doing these walks in Tower, alikuwa kupiga nini iPhone photography ya ma street signs vitu ka hizo. So and then some guys from then that's when like Instagram was picking up. So some guys from EU saw my work and asked if I do documentary photography. I was like, yep. I'd never done it. I literally learned on the
Unajua
job.
kazi kwa njia. Kubali kazi utajua.
Taking risks.
The Kenyan mantra. Kubali tu. You'll figure it out on the way.
By the way, true.
Between the time walini approach na time to na shoot, I was literally every day niko YouTube.
Documentary photography. What's this?
Documentary photography. Settings, nini. So by the time wali come tukaenda project, I had an idea. Plus nilikuwa nimepractice na mabeste nini. So we went for the job. I wasn't sure if it was good or not. Like I literally was like, this will be my first and last paying job in photography. So I sent them the work. It took about 2 weeks for them to respond. I was like, hey, nilichoma. By the time nilirudi, they were literally telling me, your work is so amazing. We have this project coming up. Are you free on these dates?
Nice.
Inaitwa kuomoka.
By the way,
Inaitwa kuomoka.
hata before ujue maana kuomoka.
Even before.
But hakuna kitu poa ka hiyo. Unaomoka bila kujomoka inamaanisha nini?
Yeah.
It's so good. Hapo ndo maomoka kabisa.
You didn't manifest. Ili come true. You know the funniest thing sasa that I've realized sizing. Jay ametuambia venye like he was doing photography for the EU. He's recording for all these people. And then I just realized something. African parents wanaonanga the arts ni such a weird thing to do, sindio? And here's the thing, they only hawataki watoto wafanya the arts. They don't care if the neighbors kids anafanya the arts. In fact, the neighbors kid akiwa kwa TV
ni sawa,
ataambia mtoto wake angalia nani ndio kwa TV an act anakula pesa, wewe unafanya nini? Okay, mtoto wako ukiambia baba yako ama mama yako I want to go be an actor, a singer, a drummer, a dancer, anakuambia acha ujinga, tulikusomesha ndio ukue nini, so tungelipa school fees.
By the way, like I shared for this people who have my number, like I shared a video like a short snippet of another video that I'm gonna put out of the mixes that I do. My dad saw it, and you know how African parents are. So I wasn't like indecently dressed, that one I can attest for sure, but like he saw it, he screen grabbed the whole video, and I'm like, the time it took for you to screen grab ungenipigia, but ni sawa. He screen grabbed akatumia my mom, and then he was like, tell Ivy to make the right choices in life. So my mom is calling me like, hey, what's up? I've just seen a video. Nikamwambia, and the first question I asked my mom was like, did you see the video I posted? Yeah, I saw it. You looked really good and you're playing good music. What's the problem? And I'm like, I'm asking you the same question because she called me because my dad alikuwa amemtumia the same video and ambia make the right choices. So I asked politely, so what does this statement mean? He was like, you have to show people that you went to school, and like you playing music does not prove that you went to school. And I'm like, all right.
Val anataka kuinterject.
Feel free, kuja tukaya. Kuna microphone.
Kuna microphone extra hapo hivyo.
Chukua on your way there.
By now ujui Val, you are new here.
Are you even listening to Surviving Nairobi if you don't know me? Hello, I'm back. I wanted to relate with your situation, the way you're saying that your dad told you that you need to show people that you actually went to school. Even me, people around me, the people, you know, my family and the like, they're very excited for the fact that, hey, wakili, nini, all of that. But then, you know, that's like a means to an end. But working with creatives is what my passion is. So when they ask me, okay, so what's the next plan? Me, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do this with creatives. Everyone's just like, yani ulisoma hivyo vyote atindo, watu wa YouTube, and I'm like, imagine. They really don't get. Every time like your career touches on something on the arts, parents honestly don't get it.
I'm
out.
That's true.
Yeah. So But with
That is
that,
true.
thank you very much, Val. That is
But the Val
our-
always anakwanga around.
yes. That is
So
our
kama uko interested,
no.
please tuma
By the-
application.
that's
Try
our
vet.
link.
Try
That's our
vet. Try vet.
Intellectual Property Council.
Of
by the
course.
way.
Boom.
First of her name. Respect her name when you speak about her. So with that, I want to say that not even say, like I really want to ask. I'm assuming you're older than I am. I don't know. Hey, Afara anaweza kuwa ni mzee kuniliko na sijui.
Of course unajua mimi ni mzee. What do you mean hujui? Umeona ID yangu?
Ni respect. Ajua anonymity is respect, yeah? So with that, did you ever go through that kind of friction with people around you, with people who did not understand the intensity or like the value of what you're venturing into and what you're passionate about? And like, how was it for you as an individual, as an African? Because that all of us get to deal with almost the same way. But like, how were you able to pull through the depression? Depression that comes with it. It's crazy. Like, and then imagine you're out there, people are celebrating you outside, but at home it's a different story.
Yep.
Yeah. So that also.
I mean, especially after I quit my job, I got a lot of family interventions. Ma meetings nini na invitiwa sijui nini na invitiwa, but
chini ya maji unajua.
Nikiingia kwa hao hivi napata tu asome.
Are you sure you want to do this? Ama ni bangi unavuta?
Hiyo story ya bangi, by the way.
Ama ni bangi unavuta?
My mom was telling me about cults.
You
know the entertainment industry has cults.
Illuminati.
And I'm like,
Yeah. Good thing my mom was a bit, she's a bit of an introvert, so anaweza taka kushow kitu, but atashow auntie yangu afu auntie yangu niambie. So she wasn't really the one like telling me what to do. Pushing the agenda, but I knew it was her because she was tight with one of my aunties. But then later on, she kind of got on with the program when she saw I was kind of doing well at the time, kind of.
You know, one of the funniest things, I remember reading this interview as a kid, kitambo, David Bana alisema that when he started rapping the first time, his dad told him, you're wasting your time, as in rudi kazi. And then the first check ilikuja from the record label, budaka alimwambia, stop what you're doing and go back to the studio right now. like legit, that's the truth.
That's how it happens.
At the moment person in a coming hivi, because
Yeah.
I mean one of my cousins is a very popular actor.
just say his name. Hashtag say his name.
Hashtag say his name. Yeah, okay.
Name drop.
Spena name drop, but anyway, Pascal Tokodi is my cousin. So yeah, when he started, at least he was lucky enough to have parents who like were understanding.
Yeah.
So while you understand that him is really good at what he does, and it's really good that he was supported, because kutoka all the way back then to the point where he's winning like the best African actor awards in international like events na award shows na nini. It shows just that little support kidogo tu
Goes a long way.
but mtoto wako anaweza kuja kujengea nyumba na pesa ya usanii hapa,
Manze.
utashtuka. Your child is, not everyone can be an accountant by the
That's true.
si kila mtu atakuwa accountant, si kila mtu atakuwa lawyer, si kila mtu atakuwa pilot.
It's boring to think about.
Ni ukweli. Wasanii wanakula. And you know the funniest thing is for me, parents are so like, niekele movie, who do you think makes these movies?
Also that ati napenda hii
wimbo.
wimbo, you're like
Nieke.
it's by an
But it's by an artist, yeah.
As in,
My
if,
thing-
if you listen to my extra series, I was telling you about how my dad had all these cassettes, and for him to even like, he was such a big consumer of music, and that's where I get my love for music from. But he appears imagine a career in the arts. I don't even think he knows I do this. Like my mom knows, but my dad nashuku, I don't think he's even aware of what's happening.
do your parents know? Are they supportive?
Well, my dad is passed, but my mom is very supportive now. In fact,
That's wonderful.
The turning point for her was, and that's when I realized they actually mean well. Like when all these things are, like when they're trying to tell us what to do or what not to do, some of them mean well.
Yeah.
Like
Just
my-
worried.
Yeah.
They're just worried.
They just want to see maybe results.
Yeah.
Like my mom, the turning point for her was when we were playing at TED Global as one of the first African bands to like.
Nice.
So now she was the one who was telling everyone.
Mtoto wangu kwa TV.
Yeah,
Mtoto
she was,
wangu kwa wapi? Kwa nyumba. Mtoto wangu kwa TV. Wewe na mtoto wako mwangalie mtoto wangu.
Yeah.
That's your mom.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's now when she used to now start asking me, oh, when is your next show? When is your, you know, but
That's a
before
wonderful
that,
thing, man.
was
How does that feel? Like,
amazing. So I think it's the most amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Like a few weeks ago, my mom asked me where she can find my album, because she wanted to
Nice.
like send it to guys in Canada, like
Ooh,
all the.
that's
I was
amazing.
like,
Canada.
You're
I
the
was like,
shit.
she's asking.
Yeah,
like,
she's a fan.
She's a fan. Like,
Yeah.
she's
That's an amazing, like, one of
Yeah.
family members who actually like support
Yeah,
you, support you,
yeah,
who listen to your content, who consume it and like their
Yeah,
Yeah.
they give you feedback.
feedback.
Yeah.
Like now she's my biggest fan. I don't know if she's heard the music,
Yeah.
but
Mimi swali yangu before like we almost like karibu kumaliza this section. I listened to your project and it reminded me so much of an era of music that I really love. Time ya blog rap. That was like 2009, 2014.
yeah.
Yes.
When music was so experimental because it was free. When mixtapes became like a really, really big thing.
Yeah.
And I wanna, are you inspired by that era of music? Because when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, I can see myself like in 2012, 2011, like
When
going
Wiz
to Dat
Khalifa
Piff
was
or to
sampling
Dope
music.
Boys,
Yeah.
to Dope Boys or Dat Piff or like mixtapes and just downloading
Yeah.
a shit ton of mixtapes or these like DJ cuts with these songs that never, as you call it, as you talk about a label, clear, cutting room floor cuts.
Yep.
Are you inspired by that?
I am
By the
Yeah.
there's one
by
song
that era.
there's a song I listened to, and I listened to AP and it reminded me completely of, because it's so left field. It was Contemporary Man by Action Bronson.
You know the song.
You know the song?
Yeah.
I always was like, this reminds me of that because of how
Yeah.
structured it is. When you go to unajibamba, clearly you can tell that you are having fun in your
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
whole project, like, you can tell who Joe is
Yeah.
just by listening to the project.
Yeah. Yeah, I am inspired by that era, but also because by nature I am very experimental. I like trying out things. If you listen to the two songs there that I was actually using a household in things,
I love that shit.
cups and
Because
spoons.
nini, kwa nini Shook One's part 2.
Yeah.
You know the
Yes.
when you start, that's like the gaslighter thing.
Yeah.
That's like gas knob. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And there's this one called Create Something on YouTube where your producers are given
Create a beat, mass appeal.
yes,
Yeah,
they're given
yeah.
just random stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you create. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
From
that kind of stuff is what inspires me. Like, I try things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
And I always love that experimentation in music because it only leads to something you haven't had before.
Yep.
Because I remember when I was when Nani was doing Mad Villainy, MF Doom and Madlib. I remember reading that Madlib literally had guys from the subway. He was walking kutoka train. Then those guys who play the plastic drums,
Yeah.
akawasikia. He brought them to the studio and had them play the plastic drums and used it as a sample. And for me, I love left field shit like that.
Yeah.
I love you to do that are so out of the box, something you
Yeah.
wouldn't think about.
I have a
And that is
question.
what your EP actually really represent kwangu.
Embodies.
Thank you.
Something completely different, but you understand it, it's worth.
I have a question. I have a question as an amateur producer. For those who know me, they know I'm getting into music production and everything, and there's a lot of self-doubt during the initial stage of music production. Like you could have a track with very few elements, but it sounds really good.
Yep.
But because of self-doubt, unaiweka. In fact, sijafungua Ableton in weeks, in a while. And I was talking to someone yesterday, and they're telling me about the same thing. They have been using FL for 4 months now, but they haven't. Of course, they've been producing tracks, but they haven't put them out. They haven't shared with anyone, not even their closest friends. And I asked them why. They're like, "Hey, manze naona ni kama mimi na producing kitu vitu garbage." You see,
Yeah.
and like I related so much because I'm like, I felt the same way. The only tracks I produced is when it was a challenge, and I just wanted to put it out there so that I can introduce myself as a producer as well. But other than that, I haven't done anything else. And the tracks I've produced, I dare not share them because there's a lot of like self-doubt. You're scared. You don't know if people are gonna fuck with your sound. Sometimes you're experimenting. And you're fusing maybe like 2-3 genres, and you're not sure, and you're like, even the genres you're fusing, they're not as popular. So you feel like, if I do this, siko sure, so wacha tu niachane nayo.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you, because
how did you go about that, man? Like for you
Actually,
to even have an EP out?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I did not announce my EP beforehand. Like I didn't.
But ilikuwa surprise because
Ilikuwa surprise.
me so you know kwa Insta story ya Suki.
Then I just went to Idza straight.
Really?
Just listen to it.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw it on Suki's Insta story and like, what the hell? What's this?
Yeah.
This is new.
Because when you're creating, sometimes you fall into the trap of
Self-doubt
and comparison. Like you're comparing yourself to, someone created this kind of dope stuff, and this mine doesn't sound anything like it. But then we forget that your individuality is what is amazing. You know what I mean? So I was in that same space also, because I was going to just drop the EP and not
and go.
look at what the response is. In fact, I already moved on to the next project. Literally. Then when I went back now to check, like I wasn't even like going back to check what the response was. I was going back to just talk to my peeps.
Yeah.
Then I saw the response. I was like, oh, okay. So guys are listening. Okay.
Yeah, personally,
Guys
I
are
think
listening.
nimesikiza kitu like over 10 times.
Yeah.
Because the first time I saw it, I liked the post. At the time I wasn't able to listen to it. And then the next day I had lots of time. I was trying to curate a playlist for a mix. So it's like, but then niliona JW ametoa project, wacha nisikize. I listened, and I think wacha nichilikiasi is like number 2 or 3.
3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Bas.
He actually played it on one of our episodes.
He knows amesikiza
Yeah,
hiyo mix.
nimesikia.
Yeah. So I'm there, I'm enjoying my guilty pleasure, and then I'm just listening to the whole project because niliona okay, it's not so many tracks, so I can listen to it at peace. So nimesikiza hivi, then I'm like, first of all, for those who don't know, I said this when Steph Capella was in the episode.
I remember. That's a while back. By the way.
I also like kind of write music, but I'm very, very, very shy about it. And so when I listened to it, I felt inspired to write. I didn't end up writing, but I felt inspired, and that's enough. So that's
Ivy, I honestly believe that I'm the opposite. Me, I own the shit I do. All the shit I do. I own the shit.
The difference between me and you is guts. You have guts, me I don't have.
Like,
Well,
even
it could be even
like
personality.
our intro music.
Also that.
Our like your
It's you.
Yeah.
I literally made that on GarageBand myself.
Yeah.
Imagine GarageBand.
Really?
Yeah, like on one of my Macs that I sold.
Yeah.
I was like, I was just playing around, and then I had that file for like a whole year, actually 2 years, because I made it in 2017. Then when we started the podcast, I decided we needed an intro, because you can't just start at welcome. No, we need something that familiar.
Yeah.
And I just put it there. People fucked with it, and I was like, that's it now.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I am a firm believer in like believing in what you
Yep,
do,
yep.
believing in yourself and the quality of your work.
Yes.
Because the moment you let self-doubt creep in, comparison is the thief of joy.
That's
The
true,
moment you
'cause
start comparing yourself with other people,
let me tell you where comparison comes from. In my experience, you have, for example, I really love Andre 3000, and I feel like if I was to get into the height of my production, I would produce music that he would rap to. So I'm like, okay, sometimes I produce music and I'm like, Andre anaweza fuck nayo z. you know, because you go back, you listen to the projects, Andre and Fatboy, what's his name?
What?
Sorry.
Big Boy.
I
Big
knew
Boy.
Big Boy. I knew you would guy.
You know, maybe I'm a firm
Big
believer
Boy.
that Big Boy is better than 100,000. Me not believe.
No, it depend.
No. Because here's the thing. If you're talking about pure music, where's Andre 3000 solo album? Because me, I'll give you Salucious Left Foot, Son of Chico Dusty. Listen to it back and back. Kutoka juu hadi chini.
Afare, have a conversation in person.
Yeah, no, ni
Don't
sawa.
even
But me
get
nasema
there.
tu, Big Boy is better than 100,000. And I will die on that hill.
Because he does more stuff.
No, because he has actually proven that he himself.
It's at its
Ameka
cause he has a
chini.
project out.
Yeah,
Andre
a
doesn't
full-
need
I know.
that. Andre is
Okay,
an
here's the
artist,
thing.
right?
He's an artist.
He's
If you
born
can
an
do something, do
artist.
it. If
And
you,
let me
if you
tell
can do something, do it.
I think it goes down to personality. You see,
Personality
the
matters,
same way
yeah.
we are saying, like, tunaweza kuwa both me and you are really good at music, but it's because you have the guts to do it and I don't. People will say Hafara is better than, you know.
Me and I believe to bad.
And I feel like that's
Salucious
what
Left
happens
Foot.
with
People who are more
Andre.
out there always look like they're
Okay, do
better.
this.
Yeah.
If you want to know why I say that, just go listen to that album. Because that album will blow your mind. That album is
I don't doubt
probably
that
of the
at all.
I think it's my favorite album. No, second favorite album of the 2010s after Dom Kennedy's The Yellow Album.
So, all in all, what I'm trying to say is the struggle is real, and please respect creatives, please and please. And there was a post that what's her name, Zinnia posted.
I remember that post.
Yeah, like, please appreciate your local artists right now before they go international, and then you act like all of a sudden they are your people, they are your home people. I think Elsa Majimbo is one of the people who have experienced this, because Elsa, when vile Elsa alianza,
Aliomoka from the beginning.
aliomoka from the beginning. First of all, let's just give credit where it's due. The format of Elsa's comedy came first before Rono. I know most people walikuwa introduced to Rono before Elsa, but OG ni Elsa. Let's just give credit.
Original
Let's give her
gangster.
flowers, please. And it's okay that both of them can coexist in the same ecosystem of comedy and entertainment. Please, I'm not taking away anything from their craft, but let's just give credit where it's due. It's the least we can do. Number 2, please, let's vote for her. Tuwache siasa mingi. And it's, you know, Kenyans wanakuanga who extra, but Kenyans did not appreciate her as much as South Africans did. That's why she was able to relate to the South African crowd. Sindio? And even right now, when she's appealing to Kenyans to also vote for her, Kenyans wanakwanga wajeuri. Tusiseme ati ulienda South Africa ukatusahau. Please vote for her, because at the end of the day, if she loses, it's our embarrassment, all of us. And or it's our disappointment, or it's our or like she has when she lost, we also lose. So let us just be supportive of her art, of her craft, without any other strings attached. That's that. And that goes for what I was trying to say, like what Zinnia said. To celebrate saa hizi before uomoke outside of Kenya. And then now people want to relate to you. This actor mwenye alikuwa Dr. House, this Kenyan dude, what's his
Eddie
name?
Gathegi.
Eddie Gathegi. Watu walianza kumnini vile alikuwa this new show.
Blacklist.
No, not Blacklist. Before Blacklist was
House.
Sorry, what?
Vampire Diaries.
No.
Sema hivyo, hey.
How come Vampire Diaries Sense8? Ilikuwa Sense8.
Mimi sijui, mimi sikuwatch Sense8.
Alikuwa Sense8.
Ni gani yenye ilishutiwa Nairobi? Ilikuwa Sense8 ama ni gani?
Mimi
He was
sikumbuki.
there. Yeah, he
Was
was
in Sense8?
But he wasn't in Sense8.
I
Githegi wasn't in Sense8.
I don't know.
Right?
American Gods ama.
American Gods.
Alikuwa American
That's the
Gods.
one.
American Gods, yeah. You see, and like people started claiming him when, you know, he started getting recognition. And this guy has always been very representative of where he comes from. Hajai feature ni vile tu, atujai claim up until tuone, okay, haya, ni famous. Unaona? I feel like your culture manzeni unfair sana as creatives, because people put in so much work, people don't sleep to put out content, alafu uko hapo tu just gallivanting past their crafts.
Yeah.
At least Peter ukisema please do more, help them grow,
basically support the creative
just
industry.
support, yeah, because support comes in different ways, and like people have not understood the different ways in which support can come through. Mtu anafikiria ati ukuja event ni kusupport, okay, that's part of it, but kama unaona mtu enyewe hatoshi, I'm sure I feel like you can do this more, or if you took this kind of direction maybe your craft ingejulikana vizuri. That's umemsaidia sana, cause hata yeye ana
criticism ni kitu ya maana.
Exactly, hata yeye ana battle kivyake, anajiuliza maswali mob sana. So let us just be supportive of each other and very kind with each other, because sometimes I feel like especially KOT Kenyans on Twitter, they're not
hata na
kind.
mamblena
Like acha nikwambie, hata sema acha na mamblena, cause hao ni wasee wako saizi wanajulikana. We have to be very accommodating of KOT.
The problem with
As
accommodating negativity, you are now as you justify, as in
Sio negativity,
justify
ni KOT, because KOT wako na two sides, positive and negative, in equal measure.
Okay, na kweli unaelewa point yako.
And like in as much as you want to hate maybe for bants, banter,
and the clouds,
but like for clouds,
yeah. Thing is also like criticism kizungu doesn't have to always be positive, but it has to always be constructive.
Exactly.
True.
Kwambia mse you suck doesn't help doesn't help them.
Anyone mwambie you could have been better at this, this like, and this, or there was like an issue here and here, because that's how unaambia somebody improves. Because I always love it when people tell me that the audio was fucked here, or maybe like mlikuwa tu chaotic hapa. That's why I know that.
Okay, experienced that.
That's how I know,
this
as in
new season.
that's how I know.
That's constructive.
Okay, so we have to do better on this. But anyway, please support the creative arts, because kama kungekuwa nayo, the only thing on TV would be news.
True.
Yeah.
Na news ni devastating as fuck.
Imagine ukae chini watch Jeff Koinange 24 hours.
In fact, wacha na Jeff, because Jeff is a creative on his own. Ingekuwa tu na watch.
Well. Yonyo lake ameslick back huko nyuma kuficha hairline.
Hiyo Kem ameka hapo ni beyond ile yenye nilikuwa na understand Kem in high school.
At some point nakubalingi tu nywele si yako. Nimeenda na Yesu. Please accept the facts. But anyway, babu waswale adilini. Babu waswale atuambia story 24 hours tutachoka.
Zababu.
Babu alidedi kitambo. Relax.
So before we introduce the music break, I would like us, this is something different that I've just thought about right now. Creatives have their own rants that they never share with people. What is your biggest rant? Like, what do you complain about? Like ile unaona saa Paul, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, there's some things you're grateful for, there's some things you rant about. What do you rant about?
As an artist or as a person?
As an artist, as a creative.
By the umeshaisema, like for me it's just people not being constructive when they're trying to break down what you're doing. That is my biggest pet peeve for an artist. Like,
and as a person
cancel culture. Cancel culture, I don't understand it, I don't get it.
Tukianza kuongelea cancel culture saizi, we will have an episode on cancel culture. Jora mimi niko a lot to say about it. So we'll just keep that. Let it simmer. Sawa. Iko ile bana ya nyuma, tukipika hapo ugali kuna stew inachomeka huko nyuma.
So relax. Having to separate the artist from the art. That grace, because it takes grace. Because sometimes unaona okay, you're listening to an R. Kelly song, hey, it's vibes, like kumbuka R. Kelly ni nani, you're like hey, shame on this nigga, curse him. But like for how long, and like how are we going to navigate that?
We will talk about that, because hata mimi niko na views zangu pia, we will have to share them. So and without cancelling anyone, it's time for the music break. Still not cancelling anyone. We're back from the music break. So as usual, we have a final segment. The last episode ilikuwa a bit different because we had to tulipatia kina Sister Speaks na Hills for Pads, whatever they wanted to do, we gave the space to them.
Right.
Before we do our final segment, I just want to shout out our creative of the week. And our creative of the week this week is a writer, a short story writer, an award-winning short story writer. Aitwa Idza Luhumyo. she's a wonderful writer. She's from the coast and she has very coastal inspired stories, and I just like acha nisome kitu juu kizungu ni ngumu. She is the first ever recipient of the Margaret Busby New Daughters of Africa Award.
Whoa.
That will be given yearly. So yeye ndo wa kwanza. You can
What?
the best can always be discussed,
Wow,
but the first will never.
Yeah.
You can never argue about who was the first. Yeye ndo wa kwanza, and she's extremely good at what she does. We'll post her details down here so you can go read her work. She's amazing. She has a vivid way with words, the imagery. Kama uje kunywa chai ya mdalasini please.
Usome.
Usome.
Utaelewa vile na
Utaelewa vile na taste. She has a way with words. Paint pictures. Sawa. Karafu. All those spices amjui. Nyo tumezoea supu na cabbage please. Please.
I feel offended.
Jumezoea. Jumezoea.
For my people.
Amna spice rack kwenye.
Maji excuse you.
Ni chumvi tu na nini?
As in
Salt na kitunguu.
If you're Kikuyu, you know how powerful Royco is.
hata kwambia uko na chumvi ilibewa 3 years ago na Royco. That's it.
Yeah, just salt and Royco. And water.
Nata take over.
Invasion.
Nata by them invade. In episode yangapi Nata me invade.
Hi everyone, when you matter. Me again. I have a story on that spices. Shule Australia showed me things. Shule lived with a French guy. Brilliant cook. But siku moja, Natalie, the black bitch, brought nini. This chicken spice. Kwa na roast kuku. Nikasahau kumarinate. Nikasema, you know, this is my food. Nitaeka hiyo chicken spice na nitazusha nikikula, but nitaikula. The boy ate my chicken. That was a war on its own because mimi ni Mluya, unaweza kula kila kitu kingine lakini ugali na kuku yangu by the vita war. The idiot ate my chicken. I am telling you, the way he could not shut up about that chicken. This is the best chicken I've ever eaten. With your chicken spice peke.
Chicken masala.
Yo. Nilisema. So he went singing to the whole school how I cook the best chicken in the world. As in, I'm just sitting there like, Lord, why me? Ukoloni kwa nyumba, ukoloni nje ya nyumba, siwezi kupumzika. What is happening?
The white man wins again.
Anyway, don't worry, Ivy, daughters and sons of Mumbi, we love you despite
But then before you go, Nat,
cabbage na waru.
before you go, I just like to point out Nat akona tattoo ya Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. Altair is the best assassin in the world. I will die on that hill. Your opinions are unwanted and irrelevant. But if you want to argue, that's also fine because we can argue for days about it.
Ezio di Auditore.
Also, with that, thank you very much for affirming myself and other fellow members of the Daughters of Mumbi that we have hope in the white fraternity.
So if you want basically kama unataka coastal spice, kama unataka tu coastal spice, please.
Hata mimi.
Soma kazi za Idza because Idza is really alishinda award. Umeshinda nini? Exactly. No, not downplaying your achievements or anything, but still, yeah, ameshinda award. So to the final section, the segment of the show.
Yeah.
We talk about what we're looking forward to, what we're happy about, what you're feeling, what you're grateful for. Basically, we're fungua roho.
Yeah, this
Ives.
is me.
Anza.
Alas, okay, I am very grateful for the experience to breathe non-Kenyan air. I'm grateful for I'm grateful for acha nikwambie hata si ati I'm grateful for a stamped passport in a pandemic. Acha nikwambie
Demo wako handsome.
Pandemic. Mlisikia hiyo mix kwa the previous episode. So but like acha sikudanganye. You know, hii time ya COVID kila msee amekuwa na go through their own shit. Na uwezi enda kwambia mtu ati you're suffering. Kila mtu anasuffer. Hata mwenye unaambia anasuffer. It's just that maybe the intensities of the struggle is not the same, but everybody has struggled during this period. So like mimi I was katikati ya struggle, then nikapata ka breakthrough. So I cannot not mention that. You know, I'm grateful for that. You know, I was able to get out of there. Nini. And then I'm also glad that my mom has now taken my career seriously as a DJ, you know. mpaka she's like, hey, I see you're doing well. Mpaka now ako na trajectory for me. Like, okay, so what do you see yourself doing after like 5 years? You know, you can't keep DJing for 5 years. And I feel like that's hopeful. As an African, if you're an African child, that's a compliment. That's a pat on the back. In as much as it's backhanded. Ni sawa tu, you take it, you know?
Sawa.
That's all I'm grateful for. That's, yeah. And I'm looking for, ngoja. I'm very much looking towards collaborating with the great.
Yes.
Hi. The
great.
legend.
The power.
The legendary.
The power.
Ivy.
Mwenyekiti.
Mkurugenzi.
Mshikadau. In fact, ukimwona hapa anasimama akienda kama amebeba kitini yake. Sababu
tunainua kiti kama nani?
Kama
alikuwa tu aje ile country ya nini ya Coming to America. Nimesahau jina but anyway.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. What's up with you?
Yeah.
Definitely grateful that at least things are going to be opening up a bit.
Manzi.
It's been a long time since I played live music. Actually, the last time was February.
Woo.
Same.
So,
February 8th.
So na play kesho lakini.
10th. Yeah.
Na play kesho.
Nice. So just looking forward to getting back on touring and stuff like that. And even just like people being more, free. I think tumekuwa in a dark curtain period, like wase wame. I know, like personally, a few friends that have gone through the mud.
Yeah, ni kweli.
Yeah, kwa hii season. So
we're glad to be out the other side.
Yeah.
Looking forward to my new album coming out.
Yes. Kuna listening party tukuje?
And by then nimekuwa nikifikiria hiyo story sana.
Please. Mimi ndakutokea. Ni dress hot couture, niambie watu amjiki yote.
But they Hafare amechange dressing code yake siku hizi, respect him.
No, as in unajua time tulikuwa na record audio, hata nikwambia kweli, tukirecord audio mimi nilikuwa natokea venye natokea juu ni sauti tu. Now I'm here, your aunties are looking at me.
Na acha nikwambie,
your aunties angalia. Look at my Jordan ones.
No.
Hey.
Leave the because Jordan ones, I have there are several women in this room who don't understand what Jordan's one mean. Like unaangalia kiatu unaona it's ugly, but tuliambia tunyamaze. So we'll just for the sake of peace tunyamaza. But Hafare's debut of his new fashion sense ilikuwa on my birthday, and I appreciate that.
I told you I look pretty in pink.
It's
I
true.
look pretty in pink. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I look pretty in pink. Okay. Kwani najifichia nini? Me and still all your girls. Ni wanaume wote mmekaa hapa mjichunge. Nikiingia nyumba yako bibi yako ni wangu. Sawa. I have to lay claim to the truth. Naambia in the words mimi I firmly believe kusema ukweli. Angalia watu. Look at these people. I'm saying about jeans and loafers. Is this 209? Is this 209? At my bare minimum, I look better than them. So anyway, again. No, but this is the thing. It's all banter because these are like for real. These are my boys, and I just wanna say
alitoa shade wa yake we.
Walai.
Ni mimi.
Na ujua mimi ndo naishi huko. So nashangalito wapi.
So like for real, like legit ni banter because these are my boys. Also Kapa, the ones that, like now banter hivyo. I've known these guys for years, and that's what like I'm honestly grateful for this week. That to see the support that my friends, it's one thing for strangers to support you. But mabeshto wako believe in the work that you're doing, and they are literally here in the studio to record. The abu show. Onyeshe juu lazima mnaweza pota bwana hapa. Yeah. I declare. So these are my boys, man, and the fact that they're here when we make time on a Friday. Also Uhuru amefungua nchi. Also anko anakata maji place fulani, but they're here. And I really appreciate it. Wako hapa and support, and that for me inaonyesha at least, if not for nothing, the people who I am with every day believe in the things that I am doing.
That's true.
That's wonderful.
It's very comforting.
But I never wear jeans with loafers. Yeah. So I'm I know honestly I know apana no I am enjoying this episode so much because I feel like for the first time in season, this is not a far back. As in, this is not a far. As in, nimerudi back to form, and I'm enjoying myself completely.
Like, creativity in its natural form, like or where like creative just come together. It's home. It's heaven.
As in,
yeah.
So yeah, I fuck with all you. Thank you for listening. Alafu msisahau to donate please.
Na msisahau kusikiza na kustream na kubuy music ya Joe.
Na msisahau kusubscribe to our YouTube channel.
Boom.
Please subscribe. Uko ndo pesa iko please. You don't want us to eat? I'm talking mina hivi tukule.
Manze, tumekuwa tukistrikes at least kidogo mkuja hapa mpate more top tier.
Oh yeah, and before we go I just want to remind you of something. A while back we tweeted out if there's a Surviving Nairobi party, would you guys come? And it's time for that party.
And I have to say this because nakumbuka rather throughout our episodes Safari has been establishing his dominance as a chokora. Kindly note that mimi sio chokora tafadhali, and I'll make sure that the party is Instagrammable because unajua vitu za chokora una enjoy ukiendanga.
Sasa sikia nivi do nivi cheki.
Tuta mix class na
ni kweli cheki utapiga picha ya Instagram utakuja nikupiga shot ya KK.
Yeah.
Sawa. So usi tense. Sawa. Hivi ndo aesthetics, mimi ndio hata niambie. Hivi ni mso aesthetics, mimi ni mso delivery. Mimi nataka mkate maji mkidri.
Si aesthetics ni class. Like manze, you want to talk about a party that you are proud of. Si ati unasema kuna place tulienda. Sasa ni wapi lakini tulienda.
Ni sawa. Na ni kweli by the Ivy will make you feel good. Sawa? Ivy atakuchocha na pia mimi nitakutoa kivyangu, sawa?
Kila mtu ako na zake. We'll combine our strengths.
Sasa we'll combine our strengths.
Yes,
the streets together. And the better streets.
And the suburbs.
So as you know, I've had so much fun recording today actually. Jay, thank you so much for coming through. You're an icon.
A
Polymath. Na Polymath wanapatananga. Unaelewa? Tunapatananga.
You're welcome.
So thank you so much. This has been honestly my most fun recording.
Me too. This season. This has been the best.
Guys, tutawapata, and I think kuna the next set of recordings Ives watu rashtuka.
Sana.
Tunanyamaza tu. Acha tuze chini underwater. Details za party zitatoka soon. See you guys on the next one.